Okay, so this is the paper that I was showing you. So these are the back sides. I mean, I guess they're the backs. There are 6, and there are 8 of each sheet in this packet. And then when you turn them over, there's butterflies over here. And one of those, where's my dies? One of those sheets, you can cut out all of these butterflies. So if I go here and lay this over top, it will cut out those 6 butterflies, 2, 4, 6, yeah, those 6 butterflies right there from the paper, which gives you a quick and easy design. If you're doing a card and you don't want to take the time or don't have the time to cut it and color it, then that would give you the design right away. These are beautiful papers though. I love both sides of them. They're fun to work with. So that is the new set. So if you're a demonstrator, you can order that now. If you're not, get in touch with me and find out how you can get your kit. And by signing up for a starter kit. There's no obligation on the starter kit, guys. But check out my blog at stampwithdeb.com, and that information is on there. It's Join My Team is what it's called, and you'll see on there the information on getting started. And you can sign up today and get your kit, and you get to pick anything you want in your kit. That's the great part of it. You get to pick your product. It's not a pre-assigned kit, and you can then get this stamp set. So, and this is the time to do it during Celebration, because there's all kinds of good things going on during Celebration. Okay, Celebration is only 12 more days. That's it. If you don't have what you want out of the free product, it'll be gone at the end of February. So make sure that you get what you want. So, okay, let's put that aside, and let's get started on the card. So some of this I pre-did. All of the instructions are on my blog at stampwithdeb.com, and there's some more samples on there too. So this is the card that I made. Let's move this stuff out of the way. And these 2 butterflies were cut out of the butterfly dies, and they're very delicate. Whoops. Let's pull that one up. So those wings come up, and he looks like he's flying. And then you open it up, and on the inside, it's a pop-up. And so this kind of comes down a little bit as you open it up, but it's just a really pretty card when you open it up. So, yeah, so I'm gonna show you how I made this. So I started with an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet of, I'm gonna do this in, this is the peony paper, I believe it's a peony, that came out in the annual catalog. So I am gonna use that again. I just really liked the way that looked. It gave me a nice subtle look, and that's what I wanted. And it looks like I am missing a sheet. No, it isn't. No, I'm not. Okay, so this is the tricky part, is getting these on here and on mine, I will tell you, I did an extra piece in here. I wanted the white in here. When you get the white in it, it gets too thick to go through the die cutting machine and cut the dies all the way through. So what I did is I took my white and I cut out a big circle. Doesn't matter, you just want it about 3.5 inches so that it takes up the majority. So you can see here, there's lots of room here and lots of room here. So probably a 3-inch circle would have been plenty big enough. I'm not sure what size this one is. Let's measure it. So this one that's a 3-inch circle. So you want to go larger than that. So you just want to cut out a circle out of that white if you're putting a white layer in there. And then that way you won't be cutting through that. You will be, because you're going to put these together and then cut them. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my white to my card base. Just like that. And this is the front of my card. And then I'm going to attach this. Now when I do this, I want Do I want this? Yeah, I want this piece in the center. So that's why I'm doing this way. So I'm just going to put adhesive on the outside edges. Oops, I got to get it on the paper, huh? Not in the middle. That's such a habit of mine. Okay, and so then I'm just going to attach that, and I've just left a tiny, tiny edge around there. It's a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, because I wanted to be sure that it was small enough that it'll cut right. Okay, then I'm going to take my other piece here that is 3 1/8 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to attach that to the inside by only putting adhesive on my top. Okay, so I don't want to put any adhesive on the bottom. Make sure that your pattern is right and that you are putting adhesive on the top. So I'm just going to attach that right there. Okay, then I'm going to scoot this all aside. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And here I am going to run this through and cut my circle. So I'm going to turn it over to the front, and I'm using the largest stitched circle in the stitch shapes, or the largest circle in the stitch shapes. And I want to make sure it's as even as possible all the way around. And then I'm just going to go through. Just like that. Did you run into a problem? My helper just came through, leaving me a note. Okay, so then I'm just going to remove this. Whoa, that did not even cut through. Yes, it did. It did not cut through. I'm going to go through again. For some reason, that did not go all the way through. So let's just run it through one more time, and it will cut all the way through. Sorry about the shaking. That's what happens when you put your die cutting machine on the table. Okay. There we go. Just pop that through. Okay, it did not cut at the top, so that could be my die, because I had that problem before. So this is the piece that I want to keep, this circle. And since my die didn't want to cut all the way through, I'm not going to tear it. I'm going to snip it and just trim that off. And it might be a spot in my die there that's just gotten worn and doesn't want to cut all the way through. Looks okay. Okay. So now we have this, which is flapping because we did not glue, we only glued the top down, which is right. And I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to cut, I'm going to take the next size down, and I'm just going to cut that on my die cutting machine here. Let me just do that real quick. That's the circle that was in the center that we cut out. And so there we go. Now we have our layers. So I had separately cut the white. When I cut out my circle in here, I took that circle and cut a piece of white out of it, a white circle. Okay, so now here I have a piece of 4. So I had scored it like this. Then I turned it and put this at 1/2 inch, and I cut from the edge of the paper to that score mark. Now make sure it's on the smaller end, not the large end. And then I moved it to what did I do? I turned it around and I did the same thing on this end, okay? So I should be able to do it here. If I put it at 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, and cut to that score line, and then move it over to 1/2 inch and cut at that score line. I mean at that line. Then I'm going to cut to the score line. I'm going to cut that piece out and you're going to save it because you're going to score it at 1.5 inches. Okay, so I've taken, this is the piece that came out of there, and I saved it and I scored it at 1.5 inches. Okay, I should have just done that on screen. All right, so now we have this piece and we're going to attach this. We're going to fold it first. Let me grab my pad back, my mat back here. And we're going to fold this so that, and burnish it, because we want it folded really, really well. Okay, and these are going to fold up. You want to keep them in line with the rest of the paper because they have a tendency to want to go out a different direction. Okay, now I want to attach this inside my card here, and actually what I want to do is I want to line up this second line, here's the first score line, this is the second line. I want to line that up with my center fold, but I want to watch my tabs up here because I don't want them to show. If they do show, you'll have to trim them. So I'm going to go a little bit to the left here, and I'm going to put some adhesive on this panel right here. And just put that right back. So the tabs are actually going to go under this paper, but you want to go up to the second score line, like that, and then press this down here. So this is what we're gluing down here. Now, I'm going to put adhesive on these tabs. And I'm going to stick them up here, just gently, and it's best if you use the green glue because then they can adjust. It can adjust as it needs to. And this is going to come down and fold over. Believe it or not. Did I just do them wrong? No. Okay, there we go. So we just want to, you want to close it down so that those glue in place, so that when it's down, it's flat. Otherwise, you may not get them quite lined up. Okay, so then when I bring it up, they are there. And this paper is just there to mainly hide that mechanism. So I'm just going to come in and let's put the glue on here. On the DSP, on each side. This one's already got a little bit there somehow. And we're going to glue those shut. Okay. I could have come down a little bit lower. So with your paper, you can come down a little lower or cut it a little tiny bit larger. All right, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I want to take that tab that I cut, and this is really important that you glue only this area. Do not put your adhesive on here because what will happen is you'll glue it and it'll stick and then it will not open like it's supposed to. So you're just going to put some adhesive right down the middle of this and attach this. And you just want to line it up here and don't worry about this end. Okay. And because that adhesive takes longer to dry, we'll have to let it sit there for a second. Okay, now the next part is, let's go ahead and decorate our circle. So I have the two circles that I'm going to put together. Just like that. And then I have my butterflies. And I'm going to use a little wink of Stella. I think I have one right here in this, my little turnstile. Or did I put it in here? I put it in my basket. Okay, so I'm going to use my wink of Stella and just give this a little bit of shimmer. I should have done this before I did the paper, before I cut the paper, before I cut the butterfly. It would have been easier and maybe given a little bit more even. And you notice I cut off the antennas from the larger butterfly. I didn't want my butterfly to have 4 antennas. They may, but I didn't want mine to. I don't think I've ever seen one with 4 antennas, so. All right, and then I'm gonna use glue dots to put my little butterflies together. And my pick tool. Maybe it'll stick, maybe it won't. I may have to glue them. Putting the wing of Stella on there may have interrupted with that, so we're going to glue them. I'm just going to put a couple little dots of glue in here. And this one I'm going to fold so his wings come up, just like that, and just attach him in there. Okay, then I can put this onto my circle. Now I want to watch my wings because I want them to be able to go through the circle without crashing into the sides if possible. And then I have some opal. I just thought the opal dots would be pretty on this. It's very subtle, but they add a little bit of something to it. So I just put 2 of the opal, what are they called? Opal rounds. And they're the smaller ones that I'm using. Okay. Now, I'm going to come in and I'm going to get our card back here. And I'm going to lay this down. This is that 1.5 or that 3" by 1" piece of paper that we cut out of the center of that. And I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive all the way down here. And I'm going to lay my circle right in there on top of that, so that that adhesive will hold this circle in place. And you see what's happening? It's starting to take form. I wish I had turned that a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so then I tied a bow from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon packet, and I'm just going to attach that with glue dot. We are having a bow tying class Friday morning on Zoom. I will send out the information and I'll also post it here. So Friday morning at 10 a.m. So mark it on your calendars. We're going to have a bow tying class. Okay, so then I took the opal rounds again, wherever I put them, right here, and put a few more on the front. It just needed something on that front. Me and these opal rounds have a problem. I don't know why, they end up all over the place. I'm gonna put one there. Ooh, we need one on here. So let's move that one away. He's too close. Let's move it over here. And the other one will go, I think, here. Okay, so now we need to finish the inside. So we don't want to leave this exposed because that's part of the mechanism. So on the inside, I put my gray granite stamp pad away. I did. Hang on, let me get it. Well, if I put it away, I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's right here in my basket. Okay. And I'm going to stamp this greeting. And this came from Happy Thoughts. And I just love that stamp set, as you guys probably have noticed. So just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. And then on one of the other ones I did, you'll see I put another layer on this. I'm a layer person. I like my layers, I like my bows, and I like my bling. So on the other one, I did put another layer between these two. And I'll show you that one in a minute. Okay. So there it is. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I think it's so fun. I loved creating it. It was fun to create. So I will show you. You saw the pink one that I did, both with the butterfly. Can you guys see those? Yes. Okay. And then This is one I did this morning, and it's the strawberry. You guys know I like this strawberry as much as I didn't want to like it. I like it. And so when you open it up, my strawberry doesn't want to lay down here, and I think that's because I bent this the wrong way. So my little 1.5 inch piece here just bent the wrong way, and so I need to put something heavy on this end, maybe a bling, that'll give it enough weight. So it needs one there too. Anyway, so I just want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you need any products, please be sure to go to stampwithdeb.com and click on shop, and that will take you to my demonstrator page, my Stampin' Up! Demonstrator page. Thank you so much. And be sure to share this. Oh, one more thing, ladies, I need your help. I cannot do YouTube Lives until I have 1,000 subscribers to YouTube. That's their policy. So go to Debbie Chronister on YouTube. It's not Stamp with Deb, it's Debbie Chronister on Deborah Chronister, I think it is actually, on YouTube, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be sending out an email to remind everybody to go and subscribe there, and once I reach 1,000, I'll be able to do YouTube Lives. So yeah, I'm asking for your help, and subscribe here, and if you have liked me on Facebook, then you will get notifications when I'm on here. If you are not getting notifications, then go like me again. Check and see if you've liked me. And that will help you to get the notifications. Thanks again.